Here we are with the calf that was recovered earlier on today. We did the measuring of opening up the skin and measuring the bite wound, checking the distance on the incisors. We unfortunately didn't get to see tracks, it's very grassy. So going on the incisors, a female having a distance of 50 millimeters and a male roughly at 65. So that gives us a rough guideline. Obviously things vary from situation to situation, but in circumstances like this where the area is grassed over and it's very hard to see a track, the villagers unfortunately had removed the animal from where it was. We've now brought it back. The reason we do that is to take the carcass away from them, reducing the possibilities of them putting a wire snare or a gin trap or something like that, and especially putting poison. Poison is very easy to come by these days with the increase in mining in most parts of Africa. When we come back tomorrow, we will hopefully have ascertained and be able to complete the puzzle, exactly what had killed this calf. We hope that the perpetrator will come back. We can then do the spot ID, make sure that the animal's not injured in any way, doesn't have a snare or anything on it that we need to deal with. If the animal is otherwise healthy, they left alone, and we do the spot ID, add them into the system, see if it's a new animal, or try and verify, which all of that goes into our now research section and data gathering, which we can then use later on. And also, wonderful things like picking up, is she feeding cubs, or if it's a male, and sometimes they don't come back. So there's a standard operating procedure form that we fill out. We try and gather as much information as we can from the original scene, especially about ascertaining, was it killed by a predator when it comes to the replacement.
One of our main things where we started with the camera trapping, we wanted to try ID the reasons why these leopard were killing calves, or try find a similarity between it. Another big part was leaving the carcass wherever it was killed. So when we did our investigation, there was as little disturbance to the carcass as possible, so we could investigate, put up a camera trap. You could see if the guys were coming back to poison or disturb the animal. And then, after about a week or two, we'll then take the camera trap down, and then we take the carcass with us, so that there's no option for them to poison when we've taken the camera trap away, and then we go dump it in an unknown location. Yeah, so we had this was from a male. Male killed a cow here. So we'll see if he's come back. I'm sure he would have come back, and yeah, looks like we've got a female track there as well. Yeah, and it's, the interesting data we're getting from it is their ranges, how far they're going, and who they're associating with. So hopefully in the future we can start picking up, okay, well, this female, this calf, this cub has come from potentially these two males that she was associating with at the just before.
And this is spot identification. You're identifying a pattern on the thing.
Yeah.
How long have you had this trap up?
This trap's been up for about 10 days now. Okay. Yeah. So it was killed about 10 days ago. Got a honey badger as well. Yeah. Always good to see.
Yeah.
So that was one of the problems we noticed when we started in the area again, was the honey badger population had taken a huge dip. They're very prone to finding these animals that a leopard or a hyena have killed. And if they're poisoned, they're the first animals and the most likely to suffer from whatever poison from eating the poison. Sure. Especially with the amount of meat they eat, they gorge themselves, so they're very, very prone to dying from poison.
So there's a lot of poison, they take in a lot of poison.
Yeah. So for us to see a honey badger on bait again,
good sign.
Yeah, that's a good sign. We were worried about them with the poisoning, and that was one of the reasons for replacing, was to stop that immediate one for retaliation.
Yes, yeah.
Brown hyena, which is good to see as well. Our brown hyena population, what we've noticed from this project, is a lot higher than we anticipated. Because they're such quiet animals, no one really hears them about and doesn't think about them. They're quite secretive as well. Where we've spotted a hyena, you hear them calling around and you go, okay, there's a hyena here, a hyena there. But with the brown hyena, with all this camera trapping, we've managed to pick up quite a large population in the area. Yeah, and a female tracks we saw. The male might be the same one. Gonna have to get back to camp and do the spot ID. Cool, so honey badgers, brown hyena, and a leopard.
Not bad.
Not bad. We'll take the carcass down, and then we'll take it back to camp with us and dispose of it there, so there's no option of guys putting snares, or there might be someone out there that still wants to retaliate. So I could take the camera trap footage. I've got each picture, so one left hand side, two right hand side, the back. You end up getting a lot of pictures where they're standing up eating like that. We take this one, you've got this sort of VC here, and then can correlate it to that one there. Okay. And the 3 dots, and then obviously the right hand side, left hand side is the easiest part of it. But in the, as I showed you in here, we've then drawn it in, so makes it a lot easier for someone who doesn't know what they're looking for to look at it and go, okay, well, there's a J there with the 2 dots, and or this smile here, well, not quite a smile, but there. And then we take that, once we've positively ID'd him, so recorded human conflict, so that should change to a yes. Repeated human conflict, no, because it was his first time. And then you add him into the tracking form. So as you can see here, we've got 5 times that this leopard we've seen him before, and he's been with a female GF181F 3 times. She's had a cub since then, so we can say, well, most probably his bloodline. And then for the ID forms, we've got notes here, so if it does have an injury to it, you put the notes in there, and then recorded death. So if we do ever find this leopard get caught in a snare, poisoned, we can put date that it was found, remains recovered, yes or no, how it died, and then from there can take it further, and then the aging process. Okay, so we've known this leopard since 2016, 17, but we first ID'd him in 2020, and then we can say, okay, right, here's a skull, this is the age of him, and then we can use them for an example for anything going forward. So from the project, what we've learnt on leopard, and then their movements, with their tracking form, we've got GPS locations of everywhere they've been. I've put it on Google Earth, and I've done lines of where all the animals have moved, and it's incredible to see where they've been moving, but also the similarity in areas that they move. And so that's how we got to get into the data capture side of things, was all because we wanted to see if the animals were in bad condition, if there was snares, injured foot, and why they were killing these animals, and petered out to us doing this major data capture on the leopard and hyena in our area. We're very excited, just in the 2 years on the data we've captured and seeing where it will take us.